All right, so the next topic we're going to talk about Ron DeSantis, and he has a video here that I'm going to show right now.
Do you believe that the system was in part put together the way it was to discourage people from being able to collect?
I think that was the animating philosophy. I mean, having studied how it was internally constructed, I think the goal was, for whoever designed it, was let's put as many kind of pointless roadblocks along the way so people just say, "Oh, the hell with it, I'm not going to do that." And for me, let's decide on what the benefit is and let's get it out as efficiently as possible. We shouldn't necessarily do these roadblocks to do it. So we have cleared a lot of those, and I waived a lot of requirements through executive order. But I think going forward, I want all our systems, including unemployment, to be user friendly, and it was not user friendly.
Well, that system was designed and implemented during the Rick Scott administration. Do you think that was Rick Scott's intention, was to discourage people from applying for benefits?
I'm not sure if it was his, but I think definitely in terms of how it was internally constructed, it was definitely done in a way to lead to the least number of claims being paid out.
As you can see right there, they did not want people, filing for unemployment. Go ahead, Carlito.
Man, this is something that it's almost like but when I saw it, it came into my radar also because this whole push to reopen the country, it's a pandemic. I was suspicious here in Georgia of Brian Kemp trying to do it simply because they didn't want the state to be spending money on unemployment. And looking how difficult it is for people that I know to file in the first place, it just looked like this is ridiculous. It's like they almost don't want people to get any unemployment because they don't want to put the money out. So then when I saw this video, I was like, see, even in Florida, somebody saw the system, how it was built internally, and to a Republican, it was obvious that it was built in order to block people from actually getting the benefits that they deserve.
Let's talk about this weird cult of work that we have in this country. This comes from this Puritan Pilgrim propaganda that we've been getting since we've all been in school, that, you got to work hard, a weird cult of work that we have in this country. Work, 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 and you'll make it. Work, 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 and you'll keep on doing it. Hustle, gig economy, keep on working, keep on working. No breaks. No one's going to give you a hands out because, this has to also deal with the aftermath of the Reagan administration. Take away any social safety nets. Make sure no one gets anything. Make sure everyone's working because, hey, we don't give anything out to bums or weak people or slow-witted people because that's the propaganda that's been fed to us for years. And you know what? It turns out it was one big lie. Let's talk about those Puritans and Pilgrims real quick. They weren't just persecuted out of England. Everyone got tired of their crap, all right? And that's 200 years ago, where they're saying you couldn't drink, you couldn't smoke, you couldn't have fun, period. You just had to work because that was getting close to God. Okay, well, first, all of that has fallen apart. This virus has shown how weak this neoliberal system that we have truly is. It's nothing but smoke and mirrors. It's all built on air. It's all one big lie. And when you tell a lie, yeah, you could get away with it, but it starts to crack and fall apart because the truth will always overwhelm a lie, because you can tell a lie time and time again until some people start questioning it and looking into it and investigating it. And when it falls apart, it's right in front of us all. And now let's look at unemployment. People need it. People pay into it. So that means all of us employment. That is your entitlement. That is your benefit. And if that goes against the corporate propaganda, too bad, so sad, because the rest Mad Max? Is it a lawless state? Are people lazy? Are people becoming sex addicts, drug addicts, alcoholics, gamblers? No. In fact, it's the exact opposite. They're feeling happier. They're feeling more relieved that they have a UBI program. Now, here in the United States, is shutting down everything. And I know there's a lot of people that want to reopen the country. I get it. Here's my Biden impression. I get it. I get it. But you know what? You're will not apply. So people need to collect unemployment. People need it because before COVID, I'm pretty sure we all read the same stories about people working 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet, and it's still not enough. And now with all these jobs, all these retail jobs, all these industries shutting down, the people need unemployment. But the system has been put in place to make it difficult, to make it so overwhelming. And it's all set up to make a person give up. And it's becoming very real. And now there's 55 million Americans that are right now being counted by the system. But let's look at something very horrific. Let's look at the Americans that are not being counted by the system. Those who are underemployed, or those who were on unemployment no longer recognized because their benefits have given up. We are dealing with something that is horrifyingly antiquated in this country, and it's hurting the working poor, Black communities, Latino communities, Caucasian communities, Asian communities. It doesn't matter at this point. The number is so astronomically huge. Right now it's 55 million, but is it fair enough for us to say that maybe that number is far more larger of people who don't have jobs? Is it 60, 70? Do I dare shoot for 100 million? It's
exactly.
horrifying and sad. But the thing is, when you look at those numbers, they're just not numbers. Those are flesh and blood human beings with families. And our government at the federal level and state level put this maze in to make it so impossible. And when you make it impossible, then there is another thing where people have to look at, what am I doing? Country in the world, and the rest of the world doesn't have it.
And it's crazy because it always seems to happen under like Republicans. Like they seem to always know how to set up a policy that's going to mess up the average person.
But if you look at like state like mine, like Virginia, and even with New York, with everybody, their king Como, like all like come to the state. I know people for sure that they will ask trick questions such as like, oh, did you quit? Did you quit for COVID? But you're like, well, I technically didn't quit. I kind of like, I couldn't work. But if you answer that question a certain way, you're not getting your unemployment check. I know people that, in Virginia, they said, oh, I submitted, I didn't get back for like 3 or 4 weeks. They were like, no, I only started a job a month ago. So because you started a month ago and you didn't have X amount of hours, you're not allowed to claim unemployment. So you're not getting anything. So wait, so if I started a job a month ago and everything was closed due to this pandemic, the concept was that I was going to get, unemployment for the pandemic, right? It didn't matter if I started a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, or whatever it is. I've been working at my previous job, so now I have to file in paperwork from the previous job. So it's not just, I know Florida is always Florida, but like in Virginia, we have a Democratic governor. In Florida, in New York, they have their great savior Como, and it happening. I know people for sure that it happened, and like kids said, they gave up. They're like, look, I'm spending more time on the phone. I can't get through the phone. I can't get online. I keep getting denied. I request a hearing, and I'm not getting anything. So I spend a month on this, and I'm spending more time trying to just get it. So I just give up, and I don't even try anymore. So when they say, oh, the unemployment job claim went down, of course it went down because people gave up. It's not like people are finding jobs. People are just be like, I'm done with this, and I'm going to try my best to just make it as much as I can, and it is what it is.